You are not going to believe what I'm about to tell you. Welcome, Merrill Chandler here, your guide to the fundability universe and host of the Get Fundable movement. And I'm going to tell you right now, Wall Street Journal from yesterday. Here we go. There's no easier way to say this. Bottom line is that the three credit bureaus announced that I'm going to quote this because it's momentous, right? That medical debts to be removed from consumer credit reports. So the three biggest credit reporting firms, Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, will strip tens of billions of dollars in medical debt from consumer credit reports, erasing that black mark that makes it harder for Americans to borrow. In our terms, that make it hard to become fundable. So, and by the way, if you can see the article that I'm looking at, it's hilarious. There, each one of the stocks, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian stocks on the New York Stock Exchange are all up in value, almost some 0.5% to almost a full percent in value, because this is in the markets. People are going to say that's hella crazy awesome because it's going to give us more credit fundable borrowers. So that is awesome. Now, what's the timetable on this, right? The timetable for it is that beginning in July, now they have to go through a certain filtering process. So beginning in July, all three bureaus are going to start removing any debt that was paid after it was sent to collections. So if it's a paid collection, it automatically gets, no matter what the amount, $50, $500,000, it gets removed from your credit profile once it's paid. Okay. Now, they're also planning next year, by June of next year, they're going to remove unpaid medical debts of $500 or less. Now, this is all just medical debt. But by the end of Q2 next year, anything that is unpaid will be removed that's less than $500 or less. So the great thing is that COVID blasted so many of our fellow citizens and made them unfundable because we had so many hospitalizations, so many things that were causing heavy financial loss and medical collections to be established in our nation of borrowers. And so what's interesting is that they estimate that it's 88 billion are going to be removed from 43 million credit reports. That's almost I think that's average of $5,000. Sky, maybe do the math. 88 billion divided by 43 million. I believe that's $5,000 on average will be removed, and they're saying that there are over 200 million people in the United States that they keep credit reports on. So it's only affecting less than 25% of all borrowers, but there we go. So you guys, now who is in charge of this? Yeah, the credit bureaus probably negotiated this, that they get to make the announcements so that they get to look like the superheroes. But between all of us fundability mavens, the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, has been spearheading this. And I talked to my contacts at FICO, and FICO 9 already discounts all medical, period. Paid or unpaid, doesn't even count it. And that was one of the chief arguments. So I was told by my liaisons that one of the chief arguments that CFPB made to the credit bureaus is that the only scoring model that's used by 90+% of all business or lending decisions doesn't even count it anymore on FICOs 9 and 10. It's still, for those who use 542 or 8, yeah, it's still counted. But if you take the actual documentation off, then 542 and FICO 8 don't even count it anymore unless it's over unpaid and over unpaid and over $500. Now, there is only one concern that this causes is so they're trying to get rid of all the little stuff, right? So, all right. Yes. Hold, please. All right. That's my announcement that it's 5 minutes until it's time. That was great. So here's the rub. The medical collections that don't get removed are the ones that are most difficult to pay for. So anything under $500, the average Joe or Jill can manage to get up to and pay $500. But if you have $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 that is owed in collections, and it's more difficult to pay those, they're still going to count against you on FICO 542 and version 8. Now, I'll bet that might have been the compromise. FICO, nobody that I've talked to so far knows the details of that those closed negotiations, but that might have been a compromise that was said, yeah, keep the higher amounts on. So if you had a surgery and your 20% is 20 grand and you can't pay that, and it's gone to collections, that still stays on your credit profile. I'll bet that there are going to be further arguments down the line to speak to those, like anything that's in a payment plan or anything. This is me prognosticating, but anything that's in a payment plan may be removed. There are other things that we can, but we've got. This is great, and we want to go further. We want folks who are really saddled with high unpaid collections to have a chance to get to return to fundability if a particular lender is using FICO 542 or FICO 8. Now, the other way to do this is for let's go the other route. Let's have all the lenders upgrade to at least FICO 9, or if they're going to upgrade, go to FICO 10. And now everything's handled. All medical collections are removed. Now, here's the thing, you guys, there is statistically from FICO, the hallowed halls of FICO, there is no statistical data that supports that having even high collections on your personal profile impact how you pay your other bills. In fact, I do want to say, I want to quote this because it was really powerful. First of all, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is taking a hard line against the credit reporting system because it's so regressive. Regressive is a fancy term for more impact and more negative impact on those with less, with lower credit or lower financial capacity, right? But I do want to share with you that, let's see, settlements. Yes. So there is a plus. There are some lawsuits from the CFPB, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. There are some lawsuits going on that, especially right now, against Equifax for bad faith in disputing. So this administration and the appointees to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is going hardcore against bad faith in the disputing process, bad faith in the reporting process, and lawsuits are in play. So let's for those of you who have joined us, I'm excited to be able to discuss more of this when we head to the funding hackers Q&A with me. And so if you're a funding hacker, make sure you go to the funding hackers private Facebook group pegged at the top. You can find the link to the funding hackers, and we're going to be discussing more impact as we get there. But you heard it here first, or likely heard it here first. This is Merrill Chandler, your host of our weekly update. See you next Tuesday at 3:45 Mountain Time, and let's keep this party going. We'll keep you posted on what else is happening. I will see you on the inside.